Most people think they know Greece. Whitewashed buildings on Santorini, the Acropolis in Athens, blue-domed churches and Mediterranean beaches. But beyond the famous islands and monuments lies a Greece few ever discover. Stone villages perched on mountainsides where ancient traditions persist, gorges so deep they feel like another world. Hidden coves with crystal clear water untouched by cruise ships. Mountains where gods were said to walk. This is the unseen Greece. The one beyond the Instagram posts and crowded tourist routes. From dramatic cliff-hanging monasteries to ancient palace ruins, from wild gorges to hidden island beaches, we're about to discover the Greece that most travelers never experience. If you're ready to explore beyond the obvious, subscribe to Nomad Diary right now. Turn on notifications because we're discovering places where ancient Greece still breathes. It's the island of whitewashed buildings perched above volcanic cliffs, creating paradise. Santorini is one of Greece's most iconic islands, famous for romantic sunsets and stunning views. Oia is the most picturesque village. Whitewashed buildings and blue domes cling to the cliff. The caldera is massive, the crater of an ancient volcanic eruption visible from everywhere. The sunset from Oia is legendary. Millions visit annually for the golden hour light. The crowds are immense. Thousands gather daily watching the sunset together. The surrounding islands are visible. Thracia and volcanic Nia Kameni Islands nearby. The beaches are unique. Red sand, black sand, white sand beaches throughout the island. The wine region produces excellent Santorini wine. Local vineyards offer tastings. The archaeological sites reveal ancient Minoan civilization. Akrotiri is well preserved. The accommodations are expensive. Luxury pricing reflects demand and location. The nightlife is vibrant. Restaurants and bars fill with tourists nightly. Have you watched the sunset from a cliff while standing in a whitewashed village? It's the monasteries perched atop impossible rock pillars reaching toward the sky. Meteora is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Extraordinary geological formations. The rock pillars rise 400+ meters, towering above the Thessalian plains below. The monasteries sit atop the rocks, accessible by steep steps or rope ladders. The monks still live here, preserving monastic traditions for centuries. The views from the top are panoramic, seeing across plains for kilometers. The access is challenging. Climbing stairs and ladders tests fitness. The surrounding landscape is dramatic, rock formations creating otherworldly scene. The sunset illuminates the rocks. Golden light creates magical atmosphere. The crowds increase daily, tourism growing in this remote region. The spiritual atmosphere is palpable. The sacred nature of the sites is evident. The archaeological significance is enormous, connecting to medieval Christian history. The hiking trails connect the monasteries, trekking between different peaks and sites. Have you climbed ancient stone steps to a monastery suspended above the earth? It's the island of hidden coves, with crystal clear water and unique geology. Milos is less touristy than Santorini, fewer visitors, despite equal beauty. The coves are spectacular, secret beaches hidden between volcanic cliffs. Kleftiko is the most famous, accessible only by boat, creating exclusivity. The water is impossibly clear. Visibility extends 30+ meters underwater. The geological formations are stunning, colorful rock layers visible in cliff faces. The beaches have unique colors: white sand, yellow sand, red sand throughout island. Snorkeling reveals abundant marine life, fish and sea creatures in protected waters. The island is authentic, local culture and traditions still strong. The sunset views are spectacular, golden light across the water and cliffs. The crowds are manageable, fewer tourists than other Greek islands. The food is exceptional, fresh seafood and local specialties. The accommodation ranges from budget to luxury, all options available. Have you snorkeled in water so clear you forgot you were swimming? It's the deepest gorge in Europe, creating a dramatic natural wonder. Vikos Gorge is in Epirus region, one of Greece's most beautiful natural areas. The gorge is 1,100 meters deep, creating a dramatic vertical landscape. The hiking trail descends into the gorge. Challenging trek requires fitness. The Voidomatis River flows through, clear water at the bottom of the canyon. The surrounding cliffs are dramatic, stone walls rising impossibly high. The hiking is rewarding, unique views at every turn and elevation. The weather changes rapidly, conditions shift quickly in the gorge. The vegetation is lush, endemic plants and trees in microclimate. The wildlife is abundant, eagles and birds soar overhead. The villages near the gorge are charming, traditional architecture preserved. The crowds are minimal, far fewer visitors than famous sites. The experience is immersive, surrounded by nature's raw power and majesty. Have you hiked to the bottom of Europe's deepest gorge? It's the Ionian island of dramatic cliffs, beaches, and underground lakes. Kefalonia is less developed than other Greek islands, maintaining authentic character. Myrtos Beach is iconic, one of Greece's most beautiful beaches. The cliffs above Myrtos rise 600 meters, creating dramatic backdrop. Melisani Cave Lake is underground, freshwater lake inside a mountain. The cave is accessible by boat, paddling through mystical blue water. The wildlife includes sea turtles. Caretta turtles nest on beaches. The wine is excellent. Robola wine produced locally on slopes. The mountain villages are charming, stone architecture, and traditional lifestyle. The sunsets are spectacular, golden light across the Ionian Sea. The beaches are numerous, secluded coves throughout the island. The food is exceptional. Fresh seafood and local specialties abound. The crowds are moderate, fewer visitors than other islands. Have you paddled a boat through an underground lake glowing with blue light? It's the island of pristine beaches and traditional Cycladic villages on hillsides. Naxos is larger than most Cycladic islands, more diverse landscapes and experiences. The beaches are numerous, long sandy stretches throughout the coastline. Agios Prokopios Beach is excellent, soft sand and clear water. Kastraki Beach faces the sunset, dramatic light display nightly. The Old Town preserves Venetian architecture, winding streets and historic buildings. The marble quarries reveal local industry, still operating after centuries. The local produce is exceptional, potatoes and apples grown on island. The restaurants serve fresh seafood, boats arrive daily with catches. The accommodation is affordable compared to other Cycladic islands. The crowds are moderate, less touristy than Mykonos or Santorini. The traditions are strong. Local culture persists despite tourism. The sunset views are spectacular, golden light across the Aegean. Have you walked through an island town where marble artisans still work? It's the mountain villages of stone architecture perched on alpine slopes. Zagori region has 46 villages, each with unique character and charm. The stone architecture is distinctive, built during Ottoman occupation. The villages are car-free. Walkways connect houses through narrow streets. The hiking trails connect villages, trekking through mountain landscape. The Vikos Gorge borders the region, hiking to the gorge from villages. The traditions are strong. Locals maintain traditional lifestyles. The food is exceptional, mountain specialties and local dishes. The guest houses are charming, family-run accommodations with hospitality. The crowds are minimal, far from tourist centers. The spring wildflowers transform landscape, fields of colors throughout season. The winter brings snow, creating alpine village atmosphere. The photographs are exceptional, historic architecture in mountain setting. Have you stayed in a centuries-old stone village surrounded by mountains? It's the Venetian-influenced town blending Greek and Italian architecture beautifully. Corfu is the northernmost Ionian island, different character than other Greek islands. The Old Town is UNESCO Heritage Site, preserving Venetian fortresses and architecture. The narrow streets are charming, winding alleyways and historic buildings. The Venetian fortresses dominate, stone structures overlooking the town. The Italian influence is visible, pizza and Italian dishes alongside Greek. The Liston Arcade is famous, cafes and shops in grand colonnaded structure. The beaches nearby are excellent, pebbly shores and clear water. The crowds are moderate, fewer visitors than southern islands. The local culture is distinct, influenced by Italian and Greek traditions. The nightlife is lively. Restaurants and bars fill evening hours. The food is exceptional, fresh seafood and local specialties. The accommodation is affordable, good value compared to other islands. Have you walked Venetian fortresses overlooking an island where Italian influence remains strong? It's the medieval castle town built on a rock jutting from the sea dramatically. Monemvasia is completely car-free, accessed by walking across a causeway. The town is built on steep hillside, houses stacked vertically, creating unique architecture. The walls are ancient, dating back centuries and still standing strong. The narrow streets are atmospheric, winding paths between historic buildings. The Byzantine churches are beautiful, religious architecture reflecting history. The local wine is excellent, Monemvasia wine produced historically. The sunset views are spectacular, golden light across the surrounding water. The crowds are moderate, fewer tourists than famous sites, the atmosphere is romantic, couples and artists gathering here. The restaurants are excellent, seafood and local specialties. The accommodation is limited, book ahead for rooms in town. The experience is immersive, stepping into medieval Greece of centuries past. Have you walked cobblestone streets of a medieval town perched on a sea rock? It's the mythical mountain home of the Greek gods reaching toward the heavens. Mount Olympus is Greece's highest peak, 2,918 meters standing majestically. The mountain is sacred. Ancient Greeks believed gods lived here. The hiking trails ascend the peak, multiple routes for different fitness levels. The alpine meadows are beautiful, wildflowers transforming landscape in spring. The refuges provide accommodation, mountain lodges for climbers. The views from summit are panoramic, seeing across Greece on clear days. The weather changes rapidly. Conditions deteriorate quickly at elevation. The surrounding villages are charming, traditional mountain communities. The mythology is embedded. Every location has stories and significance. The crowds are moderate. Thousands hike annually during peak season. The preparation is essential. Proper gear and fitness required for success. The experience is spiritual, standing where gods were worshipped. Have you stood on the peak where ancient Greeks believed their gods lived? It's the medieval castle town surrounded by fortified walls preserving history. Rhodes Old Town is UNESCO Heritage Site, one of Mediterranean's best preserved medieval towns. The walls surround the entire town, fortified defense systems still standing. The Street of the Knights is famous, historic buildings lining both sides. The Grand Master's Palace dominates, impressive fortress overlooking the town. The architecture blends Greek, Italian, Ottoman, multiple cultures influence design. The mosques and churches coexist, religious tolerance evident throughout. The narrow streets are atmospheric, winding paths and historic courtyards. The local market is lively, vendors selling spices and traditional goods. The sunsets are spectacular, golden light across the surrounding water. The crowds are significant. Thousands visit daily during peak season. The nightlife is vibrant, restaurants and bars throughout the old town. The accommodation is diverse, all price ranges available. Have you walked medieval streets where crusaders once patrolled? It's the archaeological site of the ancient Minoan civilization spanning centuries. Knossos is one of Europe's oldest civilizations, dating back 3,700 years. The palace is massive, covering 22,000 square meters of ruins. The Minoan culture is revealed: pottery, frescoes, architectural sophistication. The three-level structure amazes: engineering of ancient architects. The frescoes depict daily life, revealing how ancients lived. The priestess figurines are iconic, representing female religious authority. The throne room is impressive, stone throne still standing. The storage rooms contain pithoi, massive ceramic jars for grain storage. The crowds are immense. Thousands visit daily, making it busy. The surrounding Cretan landscape is beautiful, mountains visible from palace. The nearby museum complements visit, artifacts and explanations. The historical significance is enormous, connecting to Bronze Age civilization. Have you stood in the throne room where ancient priestesses ruled? It's the ancient sanctuary where Apollo's oracle predicted the future. Delphi was the religious center of ancient Greece. Pilgrims traveled here seeking guidance. The Temple of Apollo is iconic, stunning ruins on mountain slope. The amphitheater overlooks the valley, views across olive groves toward sea. The archaeological museum is exceptional, artifacts revealing ancient Greek civilization. The oracle's chamber is visible, where priestess made prophecies. The surrounding mountains are dramatic, creating sacred atmosphere. The crowds are significant. Thousands visit daily during peak season. The crowds are managed. Multiple entry times reduce congestion. The views are panoramic, seeing across Greece from the site. The nearby town of Delphi is charming, traditional Greek village atmosphere. The restaurants are excellent, local specialties and fresh ingredients. The accommodation is adequate, various options in nearby town. Have you stood in the sacred chamber where ancient priestesses prophesied the future? It's the cliff-top temple overlooking the Aegean Sea at the world's edge. Cape Sunion is the southern tip of Attica, dramatic headland jutting into the sea. The Temple of Poseidon sits on the cliff, white marble gleaming against blue. The temple dates to 440 BC, constructed during classical period. The views are panoramic, seeing across the Aegean in all directions. The sunset is legendary. Golden light illuminates the temple nightly. The crowds gather. Hundreds watch sunset together daily. The nearby beaches are scenic, rocky coves below the cliff. The drive from Athens takes 90 minutes, accessible as day trip. The archaeological significance is enormous, connecting to classical Greece. The mythology is embedded. Poseidon was god of the sea. The experience is romantic. couples and solo travelers gathering here. Have you watched the sunset at a clifftop temple dedicated to the god of the sea? It's the romantic coastal town with Venetian and Ottoman architecture blended together. Nafplio is Greece's first capital, historically significant city. The old town is pedestrian-friendly, winding streets and historic buildings. The Palamidi Fortress overlooks town. 1,200 steps climb the hillside. The views from Fortress are spectacular, seeing the town and surrounding Argolic Gulf. The beaches are nearby, sandy shores and clear water accessible from town. The restaurants are excellent. Fresh seafood and local specialties abound. The accommodation is charming, family-run hotels and historic buildings. The crowds are moderate, fewer tourists than famous sites. The atmosphere is romantic, couples and travelers seeking charm. The local culture persists, traditions maintaining daily life patterns. The nightlife is pleasant. Restaurants and bars fill evening hours. Have you climbed 1,200 steps to a fortress overlooking a romantic Mediterranean town? It's the island famous for nightlife, beaches, and cosmopolitan atmosphere energy. Mykonos is one of Greece's most developed islands, luxury tourism infrastructure. The beaches are famous, organized with bars and water sports. Paradise Beach is iconic, young crowds and non-stop parties. The town is pedestrian-friendly, narrow streets and whitewashed buildings. The windmills dominate the skyline, iconic symbols of the island. The nightlife is legendary, clubs and bars filled nightly with thousands. The restaurants are excellent, fine dining and casual eating available. The accommodation is expensive, luxury pricing throughout the island. The crowds are immense, particularly during peak summer season. The nightlife continues into dawn, partying until sunrise is common. The beaches are crowded, thousands gather daily during summer. The atmosphere is party-focused, young travelers seeking excitement. Have you partied until sunrise on a Greek island beach? It's the northern city with Byzantine history and vibrant contemporary culture. Thessaloniki is Greece's second largest city, northern gateway to Greece. The waterfront promenade is beautiful, walking along the sea for kilometers. The White Tower is iconic, landmark visible from everywhere in city. The Byzantine churches are beautiful, architectural masterpieces throughout city. The Archaeological Museum is exceptional, artifacts revealing regional history. The nightlife is vibrant, restaurants and bars throughout the city. The food is exceptional, local specialties from northern Greece. The markets are lively, vendors selling produce and traditional goods. The atmosphere is cosmopolitan, blend of cultures and influences. The crowds are moderate, fewer tourists than Athens or islands. The local culture is strong, traditions and customs persist. The weather is pleasant, Mediterranean climate modified by northern location. Have you explored a vibrant city where Byzantine churches share space with modern culture? It's the ancient citadel where Western civilization's greatest monuments stand eternally. The Acropolis dominates Athens, visible from everywhere in the city. The Parthenon is iconic, the most important surviving building of classical Greece. The temple construction took 15 years, completed in 438 BC after decades of work. The sculptures are masterpieces, depicting gods and mortals in classical perfection. The crowds are immense. Thousands visit daily, making it incredibly busy. The morning visits are better. Arriving early reduces crowds and heat. The surrounding views of Athens are spectacular, seeing the sprawling city below. The museums house incredible artifacts, sculptures, and pottery revealing ancient life. The surrounding ancient sites are impressive, temples and theaters throughout area. The nighttime illumination is magical. The monuments glow beautifully after dark. The historical significance is immeasurable, foundation of Western philosophy and democracy. Have you stood before the monument that shaped Western civilization itself? From whitewashed cliffside villages to ancient temples reaching toward the gods. From dramatic gorges carved by time to hidden beaches and quiet coves. From medieval castle towns to bustling metropolitan centers, this is the unseen Greece. If this journey revealed Greece's true magic and history, subscribe to Nomad Diary right now. Drop a comment. Which Greek destination called to your soul? Have you experienced ancient history come alive? The real Greece awaits. Discover the world. Explore the hidden. See you in the next adventure.